Good morning, welcome back. It is Sunday. I am a little bit late putting this video out. We were at the Speedrome last night, as you can tell by the uploads that I've put out. It was a long day, and it was a cold and windy day. There was a brief delay in action for the rain, so we ended up leaving about halfway through the Outlaw Figure 8 portion because it was 10:30 and the race wasn't even half over, and they still had a 40-lap Ford Figure 8 feature to go. And it was a fun night, but it got a little uncomfortable. I couldn't even record the Outlaw Figure 8 race just because my hands were so cold, so I just did a few shorts and called it that. But overall, it was a fun day. But yesterday morning, I did go to a card show. It's the monthly card show put on by Miller Time Collectibles at our local Moose Lodge. They're not going to be there next month. They're going to be at the Midwest Monster down in Fishers. I may go to that. I may not. I don't know. And then they'll be back, I believe they said July 10th or 12th or somewhere in that, back to the Moose again. So looking forward to going back. Made a few more connections there. It's fun to go there. People are starting to recognize me as a regular customer. Got one guy said he had matter of fact, the cards that I'm getting ready to show you, got his number. He said he's got some older racing stuff he kind of wants to unload, and I told him I might be able to help him with some of that. But he sets up a huge table with just an assortment of boxes of cards, generally just football, baseball, basketball, because those are the three that really sell. So this is a stack of football. I just went through 3 boxes of football and picked this up, and I was happy with my pickups. So we're going to show you what we got there. We got this 84 Topps, or 80, is it 83 or 84? Not sure which. But passing leaders, I'm guessing since it says 83 NFL, it's 84 Topps, but Marino and Bartkowski there. Found this Lawrence Taylor 84 Topps stars. Kind of like that. Of course, LT did main event at WrestleMania, so that's kind of fun little fact. Jerome Bettis, draft pick. We have here Herschel Walker. Now, the Kyle Petty charity ride's getting ready to start again, and he's going to be on it, but it's not coming through Indiana this year. It's going to go through the northern tip of Indiana, but I'm not going to go to it. But I thought it'd be nice just to pick up an extra card or two of him for the next time that it does come through Indiana. Old School Press Pass 2001 of Reggie Wayne. I thought this was a nice looking card there. San Francisco 49ers Roger Craig. Super Bowl, what is that, 19? First ballot, Peyton Manning. And there may be mark, that's his uniform. I thought that was a mark on the... But some of these have just random prices or whatever. I didn't pay anywhere near any of the prices on these that are marked. Excuse me. And this is, I'm going to look at this off camera because I forget what that says. Matter of fact, I can't even read it in here. But it's some kind of parallel, I believe, with that set. Excuse me. You can tell I just woke up. It's not the Bo Nose card, but it's still a Bo card. Amazing how popular he is after all these years. Got an 86 Topps of Eric Dickerson in pretty nice shape. I mean, yeah, the corners are a little soft, but it's still a nice looking card. Out of an iconic set, we have a Maximum Impact of... Is that Favre? Yeah, that's Favre. I should have known that, but I thought that was just a nice looking card. Another one of these parallels. I'm going to see if I can read it, because some of them I could read a little bit better than others. Yeah, they stamp that, and it's just difficult to read, but it's a nice set. Nice looking card. Jerry Rice. This was probably one of the few newer cards that I picked up. Just thought it was a nice looking card. Randy Moss. Of course, Randy Moss was on the Vikings for a minute. And he was an owner in the Truck Series as well. He had a few good drivers. I believe Mike Skinner maybe drove for him. I know David Starr did. A few others. Encore, Steve Young. Thought this was a nice looking card there, Marvin Harrison. They have the background kind of in that goldish, bronzish color, with him highlighted in his natural, the natural elements there. Dan Marino, Ovation, and I like these cards too. They're slightly textured. Back's a little different, but I like them with that little bit of texture. I might have had this card. I'm pretty sure I got this card somewhere. Walter Payton. Walter was another football player that had an interest into racing. But there it talks about his GT1 class. I'm sure that was a road racing series. But still, cool card. Very iconic looking card. Jerome Bettis once again. Jim Harbaugh. Bears QB here. Eventually become Colts QB and led them to what? The divisional finals in 96. They lost against the Steelers. I was working at Kmart and they put the game over the PA because it was a Sunday. We were working to get the store ready before it opened, and somebody brought a radio, set the radio speaker down by the phone over the PA, and we listened to the game. Cowboys, Tony Romo. A refractor of some kind. That's a little bit of a thicker card too. Peyton Manning, all decked out in his Gatorade attire here. John Elway, 86 tops. Again, couple soft corners, but for that set, that's not too bad. Emmitt Smith, action-packed. You can kind of, pretty sure it's action-packed. Yeah, it is action-packed. But action-packed would have embossed cards where they were a little bit textured. You can kind of see it slightly there. Got this cool 82 tops sticker, Super Bowl, what is that, 16. What's it say on the back? It just says Super Bowl 15. Collect all your... So I thought that was a cool little card. 1,000-Yard Club, Jerry Rice. Joe Klecko, again, this is another newer card. And if you go back and watch on YouTube the 1984 Trans-South 500 at Darlington, about midway through the race, he's at the race in the Skull Bandit pits because I guess he was, I don't want to say he was sponsored by them or whatever, but he was kind of representing the U.S. Tobacco brand. He was in the pits. They had ESPN had an interview with him. So anytime I see a Joe Klecko card, I grab it. Then you have Barry Sanders, Excalibur, 1999. And again, even back then, they were putting out new cards, or nice-looking cards like this. Very clean. Edgerrin James, Omega. Again, I really am starting to like these food release cards. I think they're a lot of fun. And what I like about these, and I may have to start looking at these, they have recipes on the back. So that looks pretty tasty. I might do without the mushroom caps, but everything else looks really good. Then a Madden 07 Vince Young. Apparently there was a Madden cover set. But again, I'm starting to enjoy these more unique releases. And then we had kind of this oddball Santa release, and it was Season's Greetings from Brett Favre. So I thought that was pretty unique. And then our last one is an 82 top sticker of a very young Joe Montana, but it just addresses him as MVP of the Super Bowl 16. Thought that was a nice looking card. So, pretty nice pickups in my opinion. A little bit of a long video here, but had a lot of fun picking these up. Going to go back in July. Like I say, I may go to the Midwest Monster down in Fishers here next month. I know that one has an admission charge of maybe like $10 or $15. It's not like the National, which is eventually on my list, but that's one of those ones where I'm going to have to save a couple grand just to go have money to buy stuff. But the Midwest Monster might go down there with a couple $100 and see what we can come out with. But always enjoy these card shows that Brad and Travis put on. They do a great job. Always a lot of tables. There's always the same core group of folks selling. They're very nice. The layout is great. It's easy to navigate. And when I went there yesterday at 10:30, 11 in the morning, it was packed. The parking lot was packed, and they're continuing to grow. There's a lot of support. There's a lot of activity there, so it's a lot of fun. Highly recommend if you're ever in town during one of their shows, just drop in. And even if you don't buy anything, there's a lot of good interaction between people in there. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Hit that like and subscribe button on your way out. Really, really would appreciate that. Thanks for watching, and we will see you tomorrow.